Chapter 2017. This is probably a repeat of my victim impact statement. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, I would start with that one, and then maybe it will fill in the blanks for you. I never got around to sharing my birth story, and it's kind of weird because it's like ever changing for me. You know, when I found out that my ex was cheating with at least 3 other women, I was just so devastated, and I knew that I needed to leave. And then, when he assaulted me, I knew I couldn't just leave a newborn with him. And then it turns out he would eventually be federally indicted for 3 counts of felony distribution, possession of child pornography. So, it's out there. Go look at the docket for Nevada. It's definitely out there. But this is about my birth story. This is about how I met and formed friendships with other mothers who I think it forms your village once you go through similar things. So I was about 37-ish, 38 weeks, and I had back pains, and somebody said go get a massage. So I tried to book a massage, but everybody was booked, and there was this really nice local mama that had an availability, so I snagged it. I think it was on a Friday evening, and I did it after sushi with my coworkers. And no, don't worry, I only ate cooked sushi, but still, right? Sushi. So that Friday night, I had some really good quality self-care. I spoke to the massage therapist. We kind of spoke about, how I didn't really have a name for my son yet. Well, I wasn't even really sure that it was a son, but, So anyways, I wasn't sure if I wasn't going to tell anybody that I got assaulted. So I didn't tell her that I was planning to leave. I didn't ask for help when I shouldn't have. And probably why that's the only massage I will ever get in my life, because I'm not comfortable with people touching me yet. We'll cross that bridge eventually. So, my water broke around 1 a.m. The bed was wet. The carpet was wet. Everything was wet. And I'm pretty sure it was amniotic fluid. But my asshole of an ex waited until 7 or 8 a.m. to take me to the hospital because he didn't believe me. There was amniotic fluid gushing out everywhere. I think we took my car because that's where the car seat was installed, if I remember correctly. Maybe. Anyways, I got to the hospital. Almost didn't get admitted because my amniotic fluid wasn't testing positive, but it was still gushing. So, what do we do about gushing amniotic fluid? I also was told that I just missed my primary OB by a couple of minutes or so. So then I was like, all right, I haven't had breakfast, and then it turned into I haven't had lunch. I didn't really have a plan on how I was going to do this. So eventually I caved in and asked for an epidural. Then I was pressured for an induction because it was about to be a shift change. Or maybe they were very concerned that if my amniotic fluid really broke, my water broke at 1 a.m. and it's now 8 p.m., 9 p.m., then it's time to go, right? It's time to do this. And so, of course, as luck would have it, my child comes out almost just in time for the doctor to catch it because the nurse couldn't catch him. Sorry. So yes, so then My piece of shit of an ex refuses to cut the umbilical cord. Oh, and by the way, this whole time, his mother was shaming me for not shaving. And I'm not talking about my legs. She was shaming me as I laid there, with everything out in the open. Plus the shame of being assaulted while pregnant. So yeah, I should have said something. I should have gotten a social worker there. I should have gotten the police there. But I didn't, and I couldn't. And it's okay, because he's in prison now. And he's not getting out anytime soon. So that night, he leaves, he goes home, goes to sleep in our bed, because he refuses to take FMLA, and he said, you know what, I still have to go to work tomorrow. And then his mother leaves, because their dog, their German Shepherd, couldn't be left home alone. So there I was, in the hospital, in a pretty good-sized suite, with a freaking newborn. I was determined to breastfeed. You know why? Because I calculated the per ounce cost of formula, and I don't have that kind of money. So if I didn't breastfeed, I would be stuck relying on this asshole to provide for me and my newborn child. And that just wasn't gonna happen. I also calculated the per piece cost of diapers and wipes. They're all in a spreadsheet that I eventually shared with my other friends. Man, that was like, I don't know how I survived. But I did. And I survived with second-degree tear with no help from my piece of shit ex and his family. And here you are. This is my birth story. This is my story to tell. And if they want to refute it, have at it. I'm all ears. But everything I've said here is my truth and my truth alone. For my gratitude statement, I'd like to thank you for listening. For getting this far. Basically getting me through this birth story. And you know what? When I got home, we had to squish in the back of my 4-seater car. And that was terrible because I did have second-degree tearing. And the asshole refused to lower our bed. It was way off the ground and it just wasn't going to work. But I made it work because at that moment, I knew that I just had to outlive him. I knew that I was doing everything through spite. I have to outlive my enemies because that's just how things are right now. So if you got this far, thank you. Salamat. And to the nurse who gave me lots and lots of ice cream while in recovery, I hope that you know how much that meant to me. I hope you know that checking on me made a difference to me not giving up that night. And I hope that someday I can forgive myself for being a mother